Hi, I'm Michael Owen and I'm thrilled to join Weeks as their global brand ambassador. In football, success comes from precision, speed and strategy. Every move matters. With 1,000 plus trading pairs, you can trade spot, futures and more. And security? Weeks leads the way with Plus, a 1,000 Bitcoin protection fund. Join me on Weeks, where new wealth is made.
Ladies and gentlemen, it's Adrian Zdunchuk, CMT Charter Market Technician. Welcome to the Day 4 of Trading Congress 2025. This is the 7th edition of our annual virtual bootcamp for traders to, well, make them a little bit better, one step at a time, in terms of trading, risk control, in terms of, behavioral management, managing emotions, putting entire frameworks, strategies, and understanding on the methodologies that drive profitable trading, especially with recent market turmoils. It's been very rough. It's been very difficult. A lot of people found themselves in a very dirty, dark places that seem like pretty much bottomless pits and a place with no end in terms of losing. So this initiative of Trading Congress is supposed to help them. The best people in this industry, the portfolio managers, CMT, CFA, hedge funds, people with really big experience in the game, builders, founders, and also incredible partners and sponsors to the show, because this year Trading Congress is sponsored and partnered by WeExchange and our incredible partners and today's guests at EdgeX, who are going to be showing a lot of wisdom as we go through the show. So without further ado, I want to welcome Sean of EdgeX. Sean, well, if you will, because the American version is just Sean, just like many people would say for the Adrian. In the end, Sean is the proper pronunciation, as I learned right before going on the show. However, my understanding is what truly matters for a person is the whole amount of wisdom that they bring to the table. So without further ado, Sean, how is it going? How are you feeling, brother?
Hi, Adrian. Hey, thanks for having me.
Yeah, it's such a pleasure, because quite a few weeks back, time flies very fast. We were still hovering around the $120,000 last time we saw each other. Overall, with EdgeX team, we sat down at the table, we discussed, the entire DEX kind of like roadmap, I should say, for where we are, where this industry was heading, and it doesn't seem like it's stopping anytime soon. And in fact, EdgeX is a very good example of pushing very, very strong in that region. So, for everybody who's new, Sean, I'd love to get your brain a little bit out to help them understand the quick overview of the derivatives DEXs. So what is it like? How can you use it?
So actually, Adrian, we last met about, I think it was 2-3 months ago, and really a lot of things have changed. So much have changed. So just want to go through, what happened, and just to give a very basic introduction of myself. I came from Bybit. So Bybit is of course a centralized exchange, and then I had some fortune with Hyperliquid, and then right now I'm with EdgeX. It's a pub DEX, and it's gonna have its own chain very soon. It's gonna be about 2 weeks from now, or even as fast as next week. So I really came from centralized to decentralized, and I feel I'm in a very good position to share with everybody why what happened and why should people be paying more attention to DEX. So back in the past, right from the start, from Binance, from Bybit, there was no options. The only option for you to trade, if you wanted to do your 100x leverage trades, were to do it on a BitMEX or Binance or Bybit. That's it. There's no other options. There was a few other DEXs, but their liquidity was quite thin. If you wanted to do a huge trade, you couldn't do it. So even after the collapse of FTX, I personally thought that people are gonna be scared of having their money on centralized exchange, and they're gonna shift their funds to DEX. But you know what? It didn't happen, right? It didn't happen. Quite a few DEXs tried to pounce on the opportunity, but ultimately it didn't happen. Because why? Because the liquidity was still as bad as always. Nothing changed. It's just a fear factor. And last year, we saw the rise of Hyperliquid. Hyperliquid, they provided something that the market has never seen before. That is centralized exchange level liquidity on the DEX. You could do your 10 million size trades. You could do 100 million. In fact, James Wynn, he did a 1 billion BTC trade. And we will never, I really feel that we will never see those sizes again. It's very ridiculous. Right, and then that was last year. So after that, we see an explosion of perp DEXs popping up. We have a few, competitors. We have a lot of choices and options to choose from. So today, the topic is to why you should be trading on EdgeX. Because I'm from EdgeX, so of course I want to tell you what's so good about EdgeX, why I'm with them, and why you should be trading on EdgeX. Yeah, so that's some basic introduction.
Yeah, I love it so much, Sean, and thanks for bringing this to the table. I couldn't agree more. After FTX collapse, there was, I remember that very well. Same as I remember, the never collapse, the never crash, of course, with COVID, and then before, the miners' capitulation. From time to time, you always have those black swan events, those that are unpredictable, those that are, the least probable, but still they happen. There's this whole Murphy's law, basically, that if anything bad can happen, eventually it will happen, right? Especially if there's a series of events like we had with trade war earlier this year. And each and every single crash like that, of course, leaves a lot of people in question, leaves a lot of exchanges kind of like just locking their funds, especially if it's centralized exchanges. They take their money hostage basically against those people. Those people then fight for years and decades to kind of like try to get their money back. It seems there's this positive trend later this year, like not so long ago, that a lot of exchanges started unlocking those funds, especially, be it Coinbase, be it, I think Mexi or so. And even though we are not affiliated with Mexi or Coinbase, it still sucks to see that a lot of power is being hostage against the users, right? So the natural question that the user have from their perspective is, are my funds are going to be safe, right? So why don't we explain a little bit, Sean, right now, what is truly EdgeX? Like, what's the core idea? What's the technology stack behind it? Who built it, right? What's the ecosystem backing? You mentioned the your own layer coming up, next weeks, next days. So let's talk about that for a moment, shall we?
Yep. So the main difference, the philosophy of EdgeX is that everything is self-custody. You have your own MetaMask, you have your own email address, and the money belongs to you, and you are the sole person who can control this money. So that is the most important differentiating factor that I want to point out. Because when you deposit your money into a centralized exchange, the money is with them, right? If they want to lock your money, they can lock your money. If they want to do something for money, they can do that. On EdgeX, once you connect with your MetaMask, when you deposit the money onto the chain, it's on Ethereum. So now Ethereum has your money, right? So I mean, the logic is simple. If Ethereum wanted to lock down your money, they could do it. But everybody trusts Ethereum, so that's why we built this on Ethereum. EdgeX is run by founders. I'm not the founder. I'm the guy who joined later. They have extensive market making background across all centralized exchange and all these different other platforms. And I think they have been doing this for at least 8 to 9 years. And this is also a DEX that is primarily incubated by Ember, right? So we are born out of a very trusted brand in crypto, and this is one of their incubated project. So it's not some random tier 8 dexes from nowhere. We started from some good grounds, and we have a very strong team to oversee the whole direction. And so the first thing we want to bring out is self custody. The second thing we want to highlight is everything is fair. Your orders, you can trade fairly on EdgeX. So usually when I execute a queue first, when I place an order, if I am earlier than you, then of course my queue will be in front of you. So that is only logical, right? But that is not what happens on some of the other platforms. Some people, some accounts, they have special priority. They are like special VIP. They are able to cut your queue, right? So in a sense, they are able to front run you. So over here at EdgeX, everything is fair. Everything is done according to time. So this is also something that is very important. So be it you are a retail user, be it you are a quant or like huge institution guy, we are all playing on the same fair level. So that is the second most important point that we have. And the third thing I want to highlight again is the liquidity and the ease of execution. So especially on 10th of October, I was personally trading throughout the night. It was a very terrible day for me. Somehow I couldn't flip my mind to just short. I just kept longing and longing. I think I did about 150 M volume that day, and my clips were about 5 M. So I was in, out, in, out, in, out, in, out, cut, in, out. Yeah, it was a very terrible day, but there was no one issue of lagness. Everything was very smooth. Everything was perfect. Yeah, so it really, even though I joined HX at a later stage, it really gave me the confidence to put my weight behind HX.
Love it so much, and from a trader's perspective, well, the liquidity, of course, has been the main problem overall. Like in crypto, not only from the individual perspective, individual trader perspective, but even more so from the institutional grade levels, right? Traders, investors, like even bigger funds and hedge funds, of course, or even like like the some pension funds that have acquired share, for instance, in Bitcoin. It would, like, if it wasn't for like the top maybe 5 top 10 market cap altcoins, cryptos at all, they wouldn't be able to get exposure unless it's through the means of ETFs or some indices, futures, on the indices and so on. However, it's generally been very, very difficult to find a lot of liquidity, which is why, solving this problem, exactly what you mentioned, Sean, is a key feature, right? But then, of course, there are a lot of dexes like, Hyperliquid and Aster and so on. And like I said, even though we're not affiliated with them, and we're affiliated with EdgeX, we found that you fix a lot of issues that the others don't, right? That you focus a lot of your power, a lot of your manpower, with the people that I met, on bringing it much more, much closer to the regular user, right? So we're not only calling to like, the absolute craziest, degenerate traders with billions in accounts and so on, but to have like this overall very, very good, very good execution, right? I mean, so many times, for instance, with Aster back in the day when I traded there, even though it had positioned themselves as some very high sort of liquidity access, I couldn't really open like a $10,000 trade at times. So that is really mind-boggling to me, how difficult it is at times to just spread the liquidity and have all those market making in place at all, right? But about those key features, like you say, this ultra low latency, this matching engine, the advanced order types, I think that's something that's really appealing to me and to other people. So let's talk about how it all really works. Like, you have this ultra low latency, like basically helping you execute it very, very fast with the matching engine. You have those advanced order types, right? This professional trading tool. So let's talk about that for a moment, the sub accounts as well.
Okay, so in fact, we have 3 points to talk about. So the first thing would be on the engine that we are actually using. So right now we are basing our engine off StuckX. So StuckX is a battle tested service that some other platforms are also using them as well. I forgot the exact numbers, but they have insane, like volume and transactions done over the past years. So this is a very tested and a well-proven platform. So that's how we ensure that the platform is smooth and everything is working correctly as it should be. And let me jump to the sub account for now. Sub accounts. So for every account that you have, you can open up to 10 sub accounts. And within these sub accounts, it's working as as it should be working. You can easily transfer funds between your main account and your sub account 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. You can easily switch between them to run your strategies. Maybe you want to do a long short strategy, you want to do some delta neutral funding strategies. Yeah, you can do everything here. The only thing for now is our API is actually not open. You have to be whitelisted. So for the really professional traders that have very complex strategies and they are running high frequency trades, they might have to wait till version 2, for them to really execute their strategy. And at the same time, we will also be launching our own chain. And the first thing to be launched on the chain would be the spot market. Okay, and that's the Maru token that's going to be launched. So it's going to be very soon. 2 weeks later, next week, it's going to be very soon. We'll have an announcement. So with our own chain, actually, we have much more flexibility, because one problem that we faced was a scalability, right? So there's always a balance of between scaling these to as big as possible and between stability, safety. So if you remember on Hyperliquid, there were some attacks, right? Jelly and some other tokens. The guy, basically, they opened a very huge position and they withdrew all their collateral. And the VOD had to take over the position and force close the orders. So this was some attacks on Hyperliquid. I think it happened about 4 times. Even though the amounts are not small, but still, it's a way for hackers to exploit this thing. So we want to have a balance. That's why for some of our altcoins, our limit is actually slightly lower. I remember for Esther, I think it was like 50,000, 100,000. So you could, if you really wanted, you could have spread your orders across 10 different sub accounts, so you could have a larger position. Yeah, but that's how we choose to balance our between scalability, stability, and ease of usage for the user. Yeah, so it's always a balancing game.
So how does that work? Like, talk to me about a little bit of the differences between the mobile and desktop versions, right? Because we're going to be able to see a little bit of the action from you in a couple of minutes about how the mobile app kind of like works. But for everybody that is watching this, a lot of people mostly are using their phones for trading, right? So talk to me about how the compatibility, how easy it is to trade on mobile there.
Okay, so ideally, the web browser and the app, it should be exactly the same. Like whatever you can do on the web browser, you should be able to do it on the app as well. But app is actually a very Asian thing, right? Japanese, Koreans, Chinese, they love to use the app. So Hyperliquid didn't have the app. You would have to save the browser to your desktop, and it was a shortcut to the web browser. So we understand this point, and that's why right from the start, we built an app. And this is also to appeal to the Asian community as well. Back then we had a spot market aggregator, and we found that this product didn't really have this stickiness. Not a lot of people were using it. So actually we are removing this function and adding on some other important functions, such as the VOD. Yeah, right now on the app you still can't access the VOD. Yeah, but it will be possible in the next version. So we are always trying to find out what is working, what is not working, and we are trying to optimize. But from my point of view, if you can, whatever you do on the web browser, you should be able to do on the app as well. Yeah, and we are on our phones every day. I have 2 phones. Everybody I know have 2 phones. Yeah, so the app is really something very important.
Yeah, so speaking of which, for everybody who's watching this, we're gonna have an option from Shun very kindly to show us around a couple of in a couple of minutes about what the mobile application looks like, with some screen sharing on. However, before we go there, I'm really curious, about what's the strong was a strong game, from EdgeX, into the incentives, like the growth opportunities, the early adoption upside, because it seems that it's still early, right? It seems that we're still nowhere near where we are capable of being in terms of the how vast and how broadly EdgeX spreads. So what's the incentive for everybody knowing that it's very early? Like why should they come up when it's still early?
Hmm. So maybe I can link this point to why we should be using more of DEXs
Mhm.
rather than centralized exchange. When you trade on a centralized exchange, you are a user, right? You're just a user. You are paying fees, and you might win, you might lose. But if we look at the numbers, most of the retail traders will lose. So when you lose, you don't get anything back. That's it. That's game over. On DEXs and especially on HX, first thing you get points, right? You get points, and some users, due to their referral, the number of referrals they have, due to their volume, they might have like 5% or 10% rebates. So if you were to be paying $100 in fees, the user might be getting back $10 into his account the next day. So you get points, you get your rebates. So that's the second thing. And the third thing is, of course, we back to the self custody. The money is always yours. We are just providing a platform for you to be able to trade your 100x Bitcoin long or short. We are not we are not taking your money. The money is on Ethereum, right? So it's very clean, very beautiful. Um, so back to the point of the advantages for the user in terms of are we very early into the game? So HX started off with a perp DEX, and this is the very first step. We have so much more things to do. We have prediction markets, we have lending, borrowing, we have so much more real world problems that we have to solve. Perp DEX is just the very first part of the whole game. Yeah, like I feel like I have to work for so many more years to build all these things up. Yeah, it's gonna be a very long journey. We are just at the very, very first step of the journey. And okay, the next thing, why does the point system matters? Because right now we are doing about 2 million, 1.5 to 2 million USD in revenue every day. So as a comparison, Hyperliquid is doing about 4 million, and USDT, Tether is doing about 22 million. So if we look at DeFi Llama, we are basically ranked consistently fourth. The first one is Tether, second one is Circle, USDC, third one is Hyperliquid, and we are usually fourth or fifth. So 99% or even 100%, I forgot if it was 99 or 100%, but at least 99% of the revenue will be using for the token buyback, which means that if you trade on EdgeX, actually you become part of the shareholder because you're going to get the points, you're going to get the airdrop, and all of the company profits will be used to buy back this token. And that's why I think it's going to be valuable.
Yep.
Right? You become part of the game. And another thing that we have is the vault. So when you put your money into the vault, basically the vault is a market making mechanism. And okay, over the long run, the retail user is going to lose, like based on mathematics. But the market maker is going to win. So when you put your money into the vault, you are essentially becoming a part of HX. You are becoming a part of the house, right? So first thing, you have your interest in the vault, and then you have your points that's going to become an airdrop that is going to be supported by the HX revenue, and then you're going to have your rebates when you trade. So we really bring you into the game and you become part of the system. So that's why users should really check out HX.
Yeah, I love it so much. And even though I don't have this very particular laptop, kind of like pinned for the screen, I have my other laptop with the wallet kind of like pairing. I typically try to, for the safety reasons, try to keep them separate. There's an anecdote and reason why I do this actually is that a lot of a lot of YouTubers and a lot of crypto streamers, that accidentally flashed, for instance, their seed phrases, right? But how
Mm,
silly was it, for them actually to just have it and keep it somewhere in the notes? That's another question, right? The notepad on just notes in the handy on the laptop. I never do this, uh, but they happened,
very important.
Oh
Very
yeah,
important.
it's very very easy, which is why, like I said, I don't have this kind of like paired with the wallet, but this is for everybody who's watching, what it really looks like, right? Here you have on the EdgeX.exchange, whereas we have a liquid trading edge liquidity for all. And then when we launch the app, this is where the whole kind of like universe pops up. And what really is striking me is, of course, this very big resemblance that people know from decentralized exchanges, right? It's very simple to kind of like use it, because you're using this one-to-one just exactly as if you would as if you were using this on a regular exchange. Here you have the portfolio tab, like I said, which opens up after you connect your wallet. There's the e-strategy up there, the TVO pointed at 178 million right there with the total P&L happening. There's the Vault ELP, which is with the leader at the APR of 81%, just like you mentioned. There's the whole earn tab as well for the points, for everybody who's opening up, for the points tab as well, that you can kind of like earn. Talk to me about the Messenger program. What is it?
Actually, the messenger program would be more suitable for KOLs,
Mhm.
for people who have a strong Twitter following or YouTube or some Discord channels.
Okay.
Uh, as long as they clear some criterias, like you have to have at least 50 direct referrals,
Mhm.
you have to have a certain amount of volume, then you're going to be part of the messenger program. And we have a special messenger prize pool. So if you're part of the program, every bi-weekly you get a share of the prizes from the prize pool. It's going to be some USDT, it's going to be some points.
Okay.
Yeah, might not be very relevant for the normal,
Mhm.
solo retail user.
Well,
Yeah, more for the KOLs.
that's something I'm curious. I'm curious about. So
Mm.
I'm definitely gonna check on that note. However,
Mm.
before we go, because time flies very fast overall. We're way over through half of the session already. We still have kind of like this whole trading experience revealed. So if it's possible for you, Sean, would you be able to show us around what it looks like from your perspective, like the mobile app and so on,
Yep.
in a second? Yeah.
Definitely. Let me just check if I
Please
have
do. Don't worry.
any of the sensitive information
Oh yeah,
that you
you
mentioned
want to be
about.
safe. You want to be safe. And in the meantime, like I said, huge shout out to our partners at EdgeX right here. There, I said when I sat down, like I said, with them at the table, that it rarely ever happens, right? Because most of the time, builders and founders are not really they're really locked in basements, if you will. So it was quite refreshing to see a bunch of very intelligent people and have this really meaningful face-to-face conversation. And this trust, of course, it can be as an outcome. The trust that I have towards the EdgeX is an outcome not only of those discussions, but also of this overall trend that we're looking at. I'm a trend follower, and when I see July TVL pick up all the way up here to almost 500 million, and in a matter of like 3 4 months, and it's not even just properly started just yet, without L1, without their own layer, without without the prediction market and
Mm.
everything that Shun mentioned. I think this is literally just the beginning. And the good thing is that,
Oh, Adrian, for this DeFi Llama, there's one page that I like to refer to,
please,
and that you click on the overview search, you sort protocols by fees,
yes,
protocols by revenue.
protocols by revenue. Hold up.
Yeah,
Uh,
so we get
mhm.
to see a comparison of all these different protocols that are sorted by revenue,
So
and that's a page that I really love to see, because so you click on the overview in the middle, like there's a
um,
search or something.
yeah, Sergio.
Yeah, then maybe
There's the
you
overview. Hold up.
can click like
There's the
a
overview.
fees by protocol or something. Yeah,
Hold up. There is fees paid, for
yeah.
instance. There is fees
Uh,
paid. Protocols.
yeah,
Fees
yeah.
by
Scroll down. Then
protocols.
fees and revenue.
Fees.
Yeah, the first, yeah, this one or the first one, either one.
So let's try this one. Is it gonna show up?
Yeah.
For some reason, it's not reacting. So by revenue, it's there.
Yeah. So over here we can see Tether, Circle, Hyperliquid, Pump, EdgeX.
Yep.
So it's always consistently on 4th or 5th ranking.
Yep. That's solid. That's very solid. That's very solid.
Yeah, and you know, we are it's even more the revenue is even higher than Tron and all these
Oh, yeah.
famous solid protocols. So
Yep.
I feel that is something really different.
Oh yeah, oh yeah. Especially just like you said, that it's not even before. You're competing against like very big players who launch their own layer ones, and incredible big people. And here, all of it here you're just basically beginning, and it's already got you a top 5 space, which is commendable. So talk to me, Sean. Are we waiting for you to show up? This trading experience from your
Oh
side.
yeah, ready.
Or is it...
Let me just find the settings.
All right, please.
Upload. Let me see if there's a special special thing that I should extra camera
Don't worry, take your time.
settings. Yeah, I feel like as the host, maybe you have to give me the permission to share my screen, because I don't see any options from my I don't see any options from my screen. Let me
So there
just
should
take a look.
be like a share screen, kind of like a button somewhere, right?
Yeah, I don't see the screen. I don't see that. Just give me a while. Okay, I have an idea. I have an idea.
Yeah.
But we can maybe you
All
can talk
worry.
about some other topics. Just give me
Oh yeah,
one second.
no worries,
Yeah.
no worries. Just give it in. So in the meantime, I actually want to invite everybody, because this edition of Trading Congress, like I said, it's partnered and sponsored by not only WeExchange but also EdgeX, our incredible partners. And with this in mind, there is a special link in the video description that if you click on it, it's gonna take you with a very nice boost at the very beginning. So which is a good start, for a lot of traders to kick off their per journey. We see the screen of yours. Yeah, is that what we wanted to see?
Yep. But is the video inverted? No. Wait.
Oh, don't worry. Okay,
Wait.
stop. Now it's gone. Now it's on. Perfect.
Okay. Somehow it's auto changing.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so you can see my screen, yeah?
Yep.
It's all good, huh? So yeah, that's the benefits of having two phones. So
Yeah,
this
of
is
course.
the EdgeX app, and I am logged into my account. So okay, wait, let me switch between my left hand and right hand.
Don't worry.
Okay, so when we want to place a trade, we just go to post only for limit orders, and I just well, it's gonna be huge. Wait, let me try to do a simple.
Yep.
Yeah, so everything is it takes me like 0.5 seconds, 0.2 seconds to place a trade, to cut loss, to do my limit orders. Market order is even faster. I don't even need to say. And I want to show you this portion. So when you trade and you pay fees, the next morning you're gonna see some of the fees back into your account.
Nice.
Back to this referral. So for me, I have paid crazy amount in fees because I traded about 1.9 billion. Yeah, so I paid a lot of fees, and I have gotten some friends to trade under me as well. So I managed to earn a bit from them.
Yep.
And on EdgeX personally, I'm a VIP 4.
Nice.
Wow, I tell you, it is very, very, very difficult to achieve VIP 4. Wow, it's
I can
crazy.
imagine, bro.
So you have to clear like 300 million in 14 days to hit VIP 4. And VIP 5 for me, it's impossible. I cannot do 1 billion in 2 weeks. Yeah, so it's gonna be my next challenge. And I want to show you that. Yeah. Today I lost about 5,000-6,000.
Yeah.
As part of the EdgeX team, I am also a very avid trader. I really preach what I say, right? Do what I preach.
Yeah.
And my account, I lost actually like 43,000. At peak, my profit was about 450,000. Yeah,
Nice.
so on 10th of October, I lost quite a huge chunk. Last week, I lost another huge chunk. Now I'm into negative, but I'm confident I'm gonna make back, right?
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
So despite losing all this money,
Yep.
one very good thing is that I managed to get some points.
Yep.
Right, so these points is gonna become airdrop for me. I think it's gonna be easily it's gonna cover my losses for sure. So
Nice.
in the worst case scenario, if I were doing this on a centralized exchange, I'm gonna be losing like 45K and that's it.
Oh yeah.
But over here at EdgeX, I might be getting something more out of this whole thing.
Yeah.
And the tokens will be supported by all of EdgeX revenue. Right. So
Yep.
it's a very amazing, beautiful system that we have.
Yeah, yeah, I
Mm,
love it. I love it so much on that end as well. That it feels like from a regular user perspective is like even though you lose your money, you get your money back to some extent, right? Maybe you're not gonna get like 100% of your money back because well, in the end you lost the trade, right? But EdgeX
mm,
is very kind of like step forward in the direction of users, right? And they're literally giving you money back in whatever shape or form, provided that you're not lazy enough not to pick it up, and that everybody who's really creative, everybody who's really wililling to help, going hand in hand with EdgeX, as the platform grows, they're gonna see the benefits from it. And just like Shun mentioned, there's a lot of points, there's a lot of earning opportunities, and just being early at all in big
mm.
innovations is definitely a very big edge. So we have a couple of minutes left into the show, Sean, and if you've shown us around, how it looks like, talk to us a little bit about the security and the risk considerations, right? Because we have the smart contract and the protocol risks on one hand, we have the liquidation engine, from EdgeX there, and we have
Mm.
like some best practices perhaps that the new user should be aware of. What would you say on those?
So there are two ways that you can connect to the HX platform. The first is from your MetaMask or your some other wallets like Phantom or some other wallets. The second one would be your email address, and through Privy, it's gonna this on-chain address will be generated for your email address. So both of these are self-custody, and that is to say, the scariest thing for me and for you, it should be in how you are protecting your MetaMask, your wallets.
Oh yeah.
If you lose access to your email, if you lose access to your MetaMask, nobody can help you. Nobody can help me. So that is the number one thing that users should pay attention to. So that's the very first thing. The second thing is, once you deposit your funds on EdgeX, it's gonna be on Ethereum. So maybe it's unconventional to talk about such things, but if ever HX were to stop its service due to whatever, right?
Mm-hmm.
The money is still on Ethereum. You will be able to engage a smart contract to actually withdraw your money out from Ethereum. So it's never lost. It's not like if you were to do it with a
Yeah.
centralized, if it's gone, it's gone, right? Your money
Yeah.
with FTX, if it's gone, it's gone. But after 5-10 years, some people got a portion back. So these two
Yeah.
points are I feel like what every trader should know about uh right
Yeah.
HX.
Yeah. I love it. I love it. Because it's just like you mentioned. I mean, it's so simple. It seems, right. Of course, the whole backend story to make it all kind of like compatible. There is it's overall been quite a journey. Like you said, a couple of years from very big serious people taken to build that all together. However, talk to me about the liquidation engine. The overview. How does that work? Like for everybody who's getting started, who's about to sign up with EdgeX, what should I know about the best practices about the liquidation engine?
Um, Actually, I'm not exactly 100% sure about what you mean by this question, but maybe I can
Okay.
share something about the liquidation
Yeah,
that I have
that's
encountered.
that's what I'm referring. Yeah.
Yeah. So basically, currently for this current version, HX is on a cross margin. So isolated margin will be out in the next version. So if
Mm-hmm.
you're on cross margin, there's a risk for your entire position to get liquidated if you don't have
Yep.
a stop loss. If you have a stop loss, then it's fine. You're not gonna get liquidated. And actually, for earning points, for farming of points, we award points to those who get liquidated as well. So if you have a position that got liquidated, you're gonna get some points. But I never want to do that. I never want that to happen to me. In fact, unfortunately, on 10th of October, I had the fortune of encountering a liquidation. I always have my stop loss. I always have my risk management. But what happened that day was it was, I think, 4 a.m. I was very mentally anguished. I was very sleepy, and I left my long open. And when I
Mm,
woke up at Singapore time 5 a.m., I was liquidated.
mhm,
So the whole position was gone. My balance was left with a few dollars.
mhm.
Yeah, and
Happened
yeah,
to the
yeah.
best
So
of us, man. Happened to me as well several times back in the day. So
yeah,
I
yeah. I
feel you.
haven't been liquidated in like 5 years, so it was a wake up call. Yeah.
Mm, I got you. So in the end,
Mm,
the bottom line message from that comes that as long as you use stop losses, cliche, but as true as it gets, as long as you use stop losses, everybody, especially if you're at the beginning of your trading journey, then this is what keeps you safe, right? So use your stop losses to protect your money. That's why they're called, for good reason,
mm.
protective stops. So use them to protect you, right? So as we get to the close of the session, Sean, I have one more question. So, everybody who's watching, that the members of the Trading Congress here, there are the people, like I said, who got pretty much hurt, and they are aspiring to become better. They're aspiring to recover on the losses. They're aspiring to get back on the feet ASAP, basically, because they have bills to pay, they have family to take care of, and they have expenses. So, who is really EdgeX kind of like designed for? Like, who should use EdgeX?
Um. Okay. I feel that if because previously the minimum
Hmm.
number of points that we awarded out was 1 point, but due
Hmm.
to some very popular requests, it actually reduced to 0.1. So now we start issuing points from 0.1, and this really enabled a lot of newbie traders to receive their points. They might be trading slightly smaller. They might be depositing their first 1,000 and doing some crazy trades, but they're still gonna get like 0.2 points, 0.7
Hmm.
points. So they're still gonna see something. So I really feel like everybody, we all have different starting points. Maybe you are starting from somewhere higher, maybe you are starting from somewhere lower. But HX is designed literally for everybody, whether you are starting from, okay, maybe not zero, right? I mean, you cannot start from zero. You have
Oh
to
yeah.
start from somewhere, right? Yeah, but HX is really designed for everybody.
Yeah, yeah. I love it. I love it, and the simplicity of that is something that strikes me as well. Because me being a trader, so many back in the day, so many exchanges were so difficult to operate, so clustered, so much into your face that it was difficult to digest it. And then 50 million options to choose from. Well, before you manage to get a trade, it runs away and it's not valid anymore. So I'm really happy that EdgeX brings a lot of simplicity to that. And just like you said, every single person pretty much with the very low money as well can participate in the reward system, which is pretty cool, because you're getting your money back one way or another. So huge shout out to you, Sean. Huge shout out to the entire EdgeX team for not only getting on the mission to help provide this education to people for free, but at the same time for getting the special referral, kind of like a sign up bonus for everybody who's there. So without further ado, definitely make sure, everybody, if you're watching that, to check our description on YouTube to this video, and check the comments as well on X, because we're gonna make sure that you have those links ready. And any golden line, any golden thought on the goodbye, Sean, from you?
Yeah, actually, for Adrian, I would assume most of your traders are from the European region. So from my understanding, during my time at Bybit, I understand that there's a lot of regulations, MiCA, and all these
Yeah.
different regulations. So I understand that the options are slightly more limited for the European
Oh yeah.
audience as
Oh yeah.
compared to the Asian audience, right? So with that in mind, I sincerely hope everyone can check out HX. I'm very sure it's going to be a very, very option for you to explore, right? When you want to do your trades, when you want to do your hedging, you want to do your strategies, uh, HX is going to very, very good option for you to use.
Oh yeah, couldn't agree more. Me being European, I know the hassle around those regulations. Super tight, and pretty much no let you do anything, and the whole world laughs at us basically for the Asian people, are shooting their rockets into the moon, and they're standing on the moon, and we are here kind of like drinking from the bottles with a silly twist and cork on top. So crazy. Anyway, I appreciate your time, Shun. That's been quite an educational material here from you, and you showed around us very well, what the application looks like. I'm very grateful for that. And of course, that's a big step. Like I said, pretty much, proof in the pudding. Just like everybody has an opportunity to see. EdgeX is very much in for the people. So every person who's there to become a user, you're not gonna regret it. There's a lot of support from the team, and then ultimately few choices that do it well, and EdgeX seems to be one of them. So congratulations for everybody who's watched this. And before we shut down this very show, please mind that this is the first show of Trading Congress, the day 4 of our Trading Congress 2025, the 7th edition. There's a couple of more shows planned, and they're gonna roll right after this one. So do not skip away, do not run away just yet. Make sure that you stick by, because, well, there's a whole bunch of volume, whole bunch of alpha waiting for you in the next sessions as well. And if you haven't, make sure to join Trading Congress on Discord, because you have free membership coming right to you for every single Congress attendee. Every single Congress attendee has a free access to our strategies, has free access to our trading community that is gated. No trolls allowed, no idiots. You have a lot of different opinions, a lot of traders, and most importantly, incredible track record that is real-time checkable on our website. So, and then by doing so, if you want to stay with us for longer, there's a whole bunch of early bird Black Friday discounts. So thebourbonist.com/Congress is your place to go and check it out. Don't trust my words. See what others have to say about that. People who have been here with us for 8-9 years. That's an incredible journey. There are a lot of bad actors in the space. I got hacked, ragged, scammed. People stole money from me. It's very difficult to find people who are having skin in the game, who really put their money where their mouth is. And our today's guest definitely shows that it's all doable. That being rigid, and rigorous about trading ultimately gets you places. So congratulations, Sean. Thanks for coming over to today's show. Huge shout out to EdgeX.
Thank you, Adrian.
I see you around in some time. Yeah.
Yeah, thanks for having me tonight. Hope everyone had a good time, and wish everyone the best in terms of their trading journey. Yeah.
Thank you so much, and wishes well taken, everybody. God bless. I've been your host, Adrian Zdunchuk, CMT. See you on the next session, Charles.